What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. You already know what time it is. As always, I'm Ryler, and I just got done watching SmackDown, but this review is going to be a little bit different than our past videos because, as you can see, I'm the only one here. Taylor was not able to join today. He is at some sort of like Halloween party or Halloween type event, so he was not able to watch SmackDown tonight. But this week was such a great episode. There were so many great moments, pretty noteworthy moments, so I figured I had to make a video talking about it. So let me just get started with the opener, because from start to finish there were several pretty crazy moments. I was surprised. SmackDown's been pretty good the past few weeks, a lot better than Raw, but even better than the past few weeks. It was a pretty noteworthy episode. So it started out with Randy Orton making his way to the ring. He was backstage before it, it showed him coming to the ring, but he comes out, he calls out Triple H of all people, and he demands that he gives him a match against Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel. He says something like, I didn't get to watch the entire segment, but, putting pieces together from the highlights, he says that Triple H is basically protecting Owens. He knows he'll beat him or whatnot, he'll destroy him. And Triple H, they kind of briefly touch on their past, Orton and Triple H both being in Evolution together. And Triple H was saying that he knows him and he knows that this is best for him, that Triple H is doing this in actuality to protect Orton. And obviously Orton's not having any of that, and he continues demanding it, and Triple H eventually gives in, and it's now official. We are going to see Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel. So I think this is going to be a great match. If I'm not mistaken, there was not a stipulation that was added to it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll upload this video and feel like an idiot for not covering this. But I don't think it has a stipulation yet. But as always, Orton and Owens put on great matches, so they have some pretty good chemistry in the ring, so it should be a really good match. I'm excited to see what they can do at the PLE. Now, I was kind of surprised seeing that this was added to the PLE and not some like random episode of SmackDown in the future, because Triple H, he loves that 5-match formula that he does for the cards. So I wonder if they're going to do the women's match. They're going to do the men's, champion versus champion match. They have this match, and they have a few matches that we're going to cover, later on that they've added to Crown Jewel too. I wonder, if this is just going to be a 6-card type, if he's finally going to break that pattern, or if it's just going to stick to 5 matches and this one's going to be longer than I would expect. So, yeah, I guess we'll see about that. Okay, so the next match was Carmelo Hayes and Andrade finally wrapping up, supposed to be wrapping up their best of 7 series. And I'm not complaining, because they always put on great matches. They obviously have very great chemistry in the ring. But we all knew what was going to happen, right? As somebody who's watched wrestling for a long time, we all knew that this wasn't going to actually decisively end tonight. And that's because all the issues that they've been having with LA Knight. LA Knight was, for this final match, he was a special guest referee, so you already knew he was going to be up to some shenanigans. It wasn't going to end tonight. And yeah, I mean, the fans, they were all saying this on Instagram and Twitter on the comments, when WWE was hyping up this match. It's going to end in it's going to culminate in a triple threat, and we were all right. That's kind of what happened. Andrade was getting all in LA Knight's face during the match, and LA Knight, he wasn't taking any of that, and he hits Andrade with the BFT, the blunt force trauma, and so that calls off the match. The referee attacked the superstar, but it didn't end as a DQ for Andrade because Knight then hit Carmelo Hayes with the BFT as well. So the match got officially ruled as a no contest. So obviously it's a no-brainer. This is going to end with a triple threat match for the United States Championship. I'm cool to see it. We all know that Carmelo Hayes or Andrade isn't going to win the US title. I mean, at least that's what I'm assuming. So it'll be another way to add another feather in the cap of LA Knight's US title reign. But, it was so-so. Hopefully Carmelo Hayes and Andrade get a chance to actually have a proper finish to their best of 7 series, because after all of this, we need some sort of answer, some sort of final conclusion besides it just being a triple threat. But there were still 2 more segments that were left on SmackDown, and they were both bangers. Triple H, he was cooking tonight. So it started with Motor City Machine Guns having their number 1 contenders tag match against DIY. And as expected between these 2 tag teams, it was a fantastic match. They had some good spots during it. We all knew that DIY was going to lose because although they were really good in NXT, they've kind of been floundering on the main roster. I mean, they were the tag team champions for a cup of coffee, but they haven't really got to be at their full potential quite yet. So yeah, we all knew that Motor City Machine Guns were going to win. So they won this match. They were the number 1 contenders for the tag team titles. But that was not the end of the night, because Solo Sikoa and the entire Bloodline, they come out and they basically have some sort of segment with the Motor City Machine Guns after their match. So Motor City Machine Guns, this match happened and it ended at like 8:30 my time or so, so like 30 minutes before SmackDown was supposed to actually officially come to an end. So I knew, the in-tune wrestling fan inside me knows that this isn't going to be the end of the show. They're not going to end it at this, so something else is about to happen. So something else happened indeed. They came out, the Bloodline, they cut a typical heel promo. They were saying that they didn't deserve these title shots, and Motor City Machine Guns, I think it was Chris Sabin that was talking, and he said, we just got done with this war, we're the number 1 contenders, and we will have this title match with you anytime, any place, anywhere. And of course, Solo being Solo, he's like, anytime, any place, huh? How about right now? They just got done with their match, they're exhausted. And Motor City Machine Guns didn't back down. Nick Aldis was in the ring, and they convinced Aldis to make the title match official right now. And we got an impromptu tag team title match tonight. Bloodline versus Motor City Machine Guns. It was a great match. You would expect them to not be able to put up a very good fight because they just got done with their number 1 contenders match, so they were, exhausted after that. But they put up a great fight. It lasted probably 10 minutes or so, and just when it was looking like Bloodline was going to win because of the numbers game, it had Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa in the match. And so Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa were distracting the ref, interfering. They were going to cause Bloodline to retain the titles. But that wasn't going to happen tonight. I mean, it basically started out with, because there was a bunch of stuff that followed this. Jimmy Uso first comes out, and he hits Solo Sikoa. He hits Jacob Fatu with a super kick. So he evens out the odds. And Motor City Machine Guns looking like they're fighting back. They still have a chance in this match. But Bloodline eventually ends up coming back because even though they have Jimmy Uso, they're still outnumbered by one person, technically. So Bloodline's still looking like they have the advantage. And then we have Jey Uso come out. And he comes out with they all were saying on the commentary that it was Jey Uso, and we knew it was Jey Uso. But he had a ski mask on, so you couldn't see anything but his eyes. And I've always wondered why they do that, because they reveal themselves a few seconds later. So what's the point of them wearing the ski mask to begin with? I guess it's just for the theatrics, And Jimmy Uso, he hits him with a super kick. Solo Sikoa was in the ring. He was trying to interfere because the ref got knocked out. That's what it was. And they were grabbing chairs and stuff. And Jey Uso comes out. He evens up the odds. He hits Solo with a spear and a super kick. And he fights the rest of the Bloodline up the ring. They're fighting up the ramp, so that just leaves the rest, the two tagged in members, Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga, against Motor City Machine Guns. And it happens. Motor City Machine Guns, the new tag team champions. They hit their finisher. It was a feel-good, great moment. And that wasn't even the end of it, too, because with Jimmy and Jey now being out, Roman Reigns came out. And this was right before it ended, too. This all climaxed to this. So skip back a minute or so earlier. Roman Reigns comes out and he hits Jacob Fatu with a Superman punch. He beats up, he hits Solo. They all go up the ring. So all the members of Bloodline are out here now. And Motor City Machine Guns, new tag team champions. They have their moment. They're holding up the titles. Crazy congrats to them that they won the tag titles after being in WWE for only 2 weeks or something like that. That kind of surprised me, especially since it happened this week. So they've won. They leave the ring basically. Jey Uso is having his moment in the ring. He's taking the theatrics. He's taking off his ski mask. Everybody's cheering the fact that Jey Uso just came out. And Jimmy Uso is still on the entrance ramp after they fought the Bloodline off. And after a moment, Jimmy Uso slowly comes in the ring. They stare each other down. They have that moment. And Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso they embrace in the middle of the ring. They give themselves a big hug. And the Usos, the OG Bloodline, is officially back. They've been teasing this for a little bit now. I do think it was kind of crazy that they went from this past Monday with Jey Uso being nah, man, we're not, or I guess that was on SmackDown the past week. He was no, I don't want to see you. I told you, no, I'm done. But after Solo cost Jey the IC title on Raw, Jay's I think that's what officially caused him to realign with Jimmy Uso and team up with him to take down the common enemy in Solo Sikoa. And what a great ending for the show, honestly. Roman Reigns is still on the entrance ramp, and at the very end of the show, you see Roman Reigns staring at Jimmy and Jey Uso in the ring, disapprovingly. Is this really happening after all of this has happened? Over all the drama that's unfolded over the past 2 years with Roman Reigns being the champion and then being the tribal chief and then losing the title? It leads to a lot of, it answered a lot of things, but it also left a lot of questions. I am excited to see them answer in the upcoming weeks. So that was about it. That's a lot that happened in this week, and I look forward to seeing how they're going to talk about this on Raw and SmackDown. This is eventually going to lead to them being in the War Games match at Survivor Series. So I wonder if Sami Zayn is going to be involved. Question mark. I really hope so. And hopefully next week, once we record, Taylor will be back. So our videos will be normal reviews, but I hope I can at least summarize and, yeah, let you guys know how crazy this week was. If you haven't already, drop a like, leave a comment, and come subscribe. Come join the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. We're still growing every single week. We've only been a page for, 9 months now, and we're still growing. We're building the foundation, so come join. We'd appreciate having you guys. And that's about it. I will see you guys next time.